On the 5th of March 2020, we recorded our first positive coronavirus case. Within a few days, we followed the rest of the world and plunged into darkness and desolation. Loneliness covered the face of our beloved nation, followed by pain, anxiety, and grief. The world is at war. We are at war with an invisible enemy.
I thought that was the end of us, the end of life.
Next door or America wena ba ro tlhokofetse wa tshuga o na le letswalo
lefu la teng le bohloko le o bonang batho ba kwaetswe ka di-plastic re dula re tshuile.
Ja, ek het my broer wat net na my kom verloor in Oktober verlede jaar. Dit was 'n baie hartbrekende situasie, hartbrekende geval.
Since the pandemic started in South Africa, we witnessed the bravery, courage and resilience of municipal workers. These workers ensured that the delivery of services to South Africans is not disrupted as a result of the pandemic.
Our members and employees kept us working when the country went into lockdown 5 in March last year. This we did, risking our own lives and safety. Thank you to each and every municipal employee for your contribution in ensuring that critical services were not disrupted.
The sad reality is that the virus was spreading like wildfire, and we didn't know much about the virus.
In the beginning, we didn't even know whether it was droplet spread or whether it was spread in the water or whatever. We just knew that there was a problem.
Just like in 1961 with the H5N3 or in 2003, SARS, the first coronavirus. Just like in 2009, the H1N1 or swine flu, or another coronavirus in 2012 called MERS-CoV. There's been many. And in all of them, we looked to science for a solution.
The second phase of the vaccination resumed on Monday for South Africans above the age of 60 years and other vulnerable groups. According to the latest statistics from the Health Department, the country has vaccinated.
First, I thought I want to get this vaccine, and then the conspiracy theory started because we're all on social media. Everyone is like, they're going to track you. This is how they're going to get the 666.
666.
You cannot escape God, not even with the mask or 6 feet.
Do you believe the numbers?
5G towers are going up.
5G! You've been brainwashed.
So I'm just like, I would like to get this vaccine to protect myself, but what is inside of it and why so fast and why so quick? Why are they testing it out on Africans at first? Because I thought we thought they're like only rolling it out to Africa first. I'm like, what's going on? So I was just like, at this point, I don't want the vaccine until we're sure of it.
I don't know. I don't believe in that. You see, because there's a lot of conspiracy theories. Some they're still even saying it's a trial. You see, I don't believe there's such.
It was too soon. Who was it tested on? How sure are they?
I think what's important for people to understand is that vaccination or vaccines, they go through certain technologies. So there's been technologies that have been worked on over the last decade or so. One of those called mRNA technology, which actually is much more efficient. The times taken to develop a vaccine, it is shortened.
The technology had been around, the scientists have been working with it, they've been exchanging across various platforms how to use this technology, and now suddenly there was a thing to use it on. And with the ability to share this information across the world very fast and to talk to one another in large groups of people, it became possible to get a vaccine much faster than ever before.
So when a vaccine is then given a green light to be used in South Africa, it's gone through number of stages of safety and effectiveness. So people still think they are being used as guinea pigs. No, the guinea pigs were those who were in phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3.
Simply put, it takes anything from 10 to 20 years to fully develop a vaccine. However, when there's a health emergency or crisis, then it won't be very reasonable to wait that long. Normal procedures for developing vaccines had to be streamlined primarily by running stages in parallel than a linear approach. But what exactly is a vaccine? We have an idea, but maybe a more fleshed out explanation from a qualified person.
So we take a germ, we weaken it, or we kill it, or we take a piece of it. When we give that to you, your body doesn't know that this thing is weak, or it's killed, or it's a piece of it. It goes and mounts a defense such that when you get the real germ, you already have your soldiers waiting to attack it on sight. That's what a vaccine is. It's an artificial means to develop a defense against a germ that you have not yet been exposed to.
Vaccine does not prevent infection, but reduce, like the COVID vaccine, is reduce the severity of the infection. Majority of people, almost 90%, will never end up in hospital. And then you have few people, of course, that having other comorbid problems might end up in hospital but not in ICU or in life support. So the amount of deaths decreases dramatically.
People must look at a vaccine like a safety belt. You know, in South Africa, every car has a safety belt. It is to minimize your chances of getting injured in the event that you get involved in a car accident. It does not prevent you from being injured.
I don't believe in the vaccine. It's just not, it's a scam.
At some point, I thought maybe the government is cooking something against the people, you know, because it has never happened in my life ever.
There's been a bit of a vacuum in terms of dissemination of credible information to address people's fears. And life does not allow for a vacuum. You know, other people will then occupy that vacuum. So anti-vaxxers from across the world, people who just don't like the idea of vaccines, and other people who are into conspiracy theories have then used effectively the social media to create more fear and more confusion. And some of the things that they propose or share, if you are a person who has not studied medicine, you might find it difficult to see that they are lies.
The basis for vaccination is probably owed to one English Dr. Edward Jenner. In 1796, he attempted to neutralize smallpox. He took material from a cowpox sore on Sarah's hand and injected it into James, then exposed James several times to the smallpox virus. But James never developed smallpox. Vaccination became a widely accepted practice for controlling or eliminating diseases. In 1959, the World Health Organization, WHO, started a plan to completely eradicate smallpox. After a few failures in the 60s and 2 centuries later, smallpox was completely eradicated, with the last continent being Africa in 1977. This is considered the biggest achievement in international public health. Now, the success of every vaccination campaign lies in people. The people must be willing to take the vaccine. If some are and some are not, then the virus will keep circulating within our country. There's a level of patriotism in getting vaccinated, I think. Having some members of the community not vaccinated hampers with our most crucial, most important part of this battle, introducing herd immunity.
Herd immunity is that the more people we immunize, the less effective the virus is in the community.
Herd immunity could be our best chance.
Now, to achieve herd immunity,
you've got to chase that target.
Herd immunity is needed to...
The expectation.
Based on current data, South Africa is unlikely to meet its health department target to vaccinate 70% of the adult population against COVID-19 by December.
So we can achieve herd immunity through vaccinating a certain percentage of our community, or just let people get infected naturally.
Herd immunity by definition just means when the larger portion of populations are having immunity against the virus. Now in South Africa, what does that mean? It means we are about 60 million people. At least you needed about 40 million people must be vaccinated or should have COVID-19 infection for us to have herd immunity.
Given that the current R0 of South Africa is 3, i.e. one infected person in South Africa will infect 3. To stop or weaken the virus enough to relax restrictions, we must vaccinate 2 of every 3 potential cases. That way, 1 can harm only 1, and we literally suffocate the virus. Simply put, we still have a long way to go, and vaccine hesitancy, anti-vaxxism will not help, but together united, we can get there.
By getting vaccinated, you will be playing your part in ensuring that the country reaches herd immunity. That way, we can all go back to live life in a safe environment. Getting vaccinated means protecting yourself, your family, and the workplace.
All of us would like to return to the life we knew before COVID. And the closest that we may come to that is if the majority of the population vaccinate, inclusive of the employees within local government.
We are all vaccinated against smallpox, measles, and polio. These illnesses have virtually been eradicated in today's society. In my capacity as a shop steward and president of Imatu, I meet with Imatu members on a daily basis. Even though I've been vaccinated, I'm still very aware of the pandemic. So I still wear my mask, I frequently wash my hands, and I try to keep a safe distance from people.
Bona mina kungcono ukuthi wonke umuntu makavaccinate afollowe ama-procedure nama-protocol wombuso wonke ukuthi kube nama-attendant registers, sifake ama-maski, wonke umuntu ngimgcugcuzela ngimkhuthazele ukuthi makavaccinate ukuthi sihlale siphephile.
Ke o mongwe wa bona ba neng gore ke tlo thoma go tšea lona lemau leo e ke isere go ke karata yo e hwetšago ga o fetša go hlaba lemau la rena. Lemau le la ga o le hlabile ke lona e leng gore le go thuša mašole a gago a mmele gore bolwetši jo la ga bo fihla mmeleng wa gago bo seke jwa ba le maatla mo go wena wa kgona go thušega ka ona ga a le go fekeetse godimo ga bolwetši jo la bo a fihla jwa seke jwa ba le maatla wena ka wena ge o kgonne go tšea lemau lela ke lona le go thušago go ba le ona maatla ao.
Ek moet sê dit is baie vreesaanjaend omdat jy weet nooit wie kan vir jou 'n probleem veroorsaak in terme van jou gesondheid. Dit wil sê wanneer iemand nie gevaksinneer is nie, het jy ook nie sekerheid wat kan met jou gebeur as jy met hom of haar in aanraking kom. So dit sê vir my is net goed dat 'n mens vir jou gaan vaksineer en dat jy ook alhoewel jy gevaksinneer is, nogtans versigtig moet wees omdat die lewe is nie meer gewaarborg nie.
This fight is not only in South Africa, it's global. The World Health Organization targets that by mid-2022, 70% of the world's population must be vaccinated. We all need to play our part, and maybe, just maybe, this can disappear too, like smallpox. Do the right thing.